I think everybody is in and connected. Again, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We're very excited to have you here so that we can talk to you a little bit about our exciting new high school program in partnership with Hudson Valley Community College. We're going to start out with some introductions. I'm going to ask Dr. Gladys Cruz to introduce herself first.
Good evening, and thank you for being with us. As Anthony said, we are so excited to have you with us tonight to learn about an exciting STEM high school that is being launched in partnership with Hudson Valley Community College and some businesses in 46 districts.
Well, thank you, Dr. Cruz. And my name is Anthony Taby. I'm the Chief Academic Officer here at Questar 3 BOCES. And we are very excited to be launching this program. We're very excited about the career pathways, which we'll have an opportunity to talk about. And then I'm going to ask Ms. Kim Sparkman to introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. My name is Kim Sparkman. I'm the Career and Tech Ed Coordinator with Questar 3 BOCES, and I've been working closely with the steering committee as we build out this amazing opportunity.
Thank you so much. And Deb, can you introduce yourself? Oh, I'm sorry, Deb. I think I have to unmute you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Deb Shoemaker. I'm the Associate Dean of Community and Educational Partnerships, and I serve as the college liaison with all of our early college and P-Tech programs. And we're thrilled to have this new high school on our campus starting in the fall.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being here. And we're going to start out with a promotional video that we had put together, our communications department put together. And let's take a look at that right now. It's about a minute long.
Yes. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Okay. That's where I'm almost there.
All right. All right. And before we go back to the presentation, I'm going to launch a quick polling question for all of our students to fill out. What is the primary reason for pursuing this new exciting high school option? So go ahead and submit your response. You can select multiple options. All right, looks like most of the responses have come in. I'll give it another couple seconds. All right, let me share this so you guys can see it. So primary reason, career pathways. So we have 4 of them, and we're going to go over all the career pathways that are options for students as they attend either early college, high school, or the P-TECH program. College credits and alternate high school environment, we're not far behind. So thank you very much for participating in that. All right, Kim, if you could put the presentation up.
There we go.
All right, so we started out with the introductions. And Dr. Cruz mentioned this already in the introduction, but I just wanted to put up on the screen the 7 counties and the 46 school districts that are served by both the Questar 3 BOCES and Capital Region BOCES. So you can see the total of 7 counties and 46 school districts. So quite the widespread area of potential students that could be attending this program. And in that red box right there, Rensselaer County is where Hudson Valley Community College is located, right on the lefternmost side of the red box. So that is where that's where we'll see the program housed. All right. So what are P-TECH and early college high school programs? I know that many of you have already had the opportunity to explore our website, which has a variety of different pieces of information there. But primary goals and the identified areas why a P-TECH and early college high school programs exist is that they allow colleges and universities to partner with public school districts, or in this case, BOCES. They are designed to directly fill workforce development skill gaps. Students are earning simultaneously their high school degree or diploma requirements as well as college credits. And the biggest reason is they put students on a fast track to a college degree while saving their families thousands of dollars in tuition costs. So those are some of the different what are P-TECHs in early college high schools.
Sorry, it's kind of a delay. There we go.
Okay, so this specific partnership, as we mentioned earlier, the program is a partnership between Questar 3 BOCES and Hudson Valley Community College. Both of the programs will be located on Hudson Valley's Community College campus, and we will have our own building on that campus. It's actually the Lang building, and that building was the building that was used for the advanced manufacturing program prior to them building the Haas Center. So they've renovated the building for our use. The second floor is been completely renovated, and the first floor is in the process of being renovated. So it's a great space, and I'll put a plug in now, but we'll talk about it a little bit later on. But we're going to be hosting a virtual open house next week so that students and parents have the opportunity to see the Lang building, the location of the Lang building on the campus. You can kind of see it in that bottom picture. It is the yellow building in the bottom picture. So you can see that it is as central as we need it to be, but also isolated so that when we're having students arrive and depart from the program in our building, we can make sure that, particularly in the early years, students are coming directly onto campus into the Lang building. And then when they're done with their school day, they are leaving right from the Lang building to get on their bus and go back home. So students start coursework as early as 9th grade. And in parentheses there, it talks about the College Forum course, which is an exploratory course that students will take in their 9th grade year that exposes them to all the different career pathways and helps to set them up for success in the college environment. The P-TECH program is an up to 6-year program where students earn an AAS degree, and they earn up to 63 credits. They could possibly earn more than 63 credits, provided that the pathway leads to more than 63 credits for their degree. The early college high school program is a 4-year program, more of a traditional high school program, and students earn at minimum 24 college credits, but can earn up to 60 college credits in their 4 years. So a little bit of information about the different pathways. So we really worked very hard to, along with the steering committee, to develop pathways that filled urgent workforce demands in STEM related fields. And what we did when we were, and we'll go into a little bit more detail with this, is we looked at where are the jobs going to be for students within the next 6 to 8 years, so that when they finish our program, they are in line for a career in that field. So P-TECH pathways include computer information systems with a focus on web development, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence, engineering technology, where students will focus on civil engineering and architecture, but they can explore any of the engineering fields. Environmental science and protection with a focus on clean energy management. And then in the early college high school pathway, we have health sciences, which include respiratory therapy, radiological technology, and dental hygiene, along with computer information systems. Students can also still pursue that pathway in either program, but either P-TECH or early college high school. So as we go into the forecasted job growth, as I mentioned earlier, we created these pathways with the intention of linking them to in-demand job fields. So you can see that the field of web development is forecasted to grow by 20% within the next 6 to 8 years. Civil engineering technology is set to grow by 18% between now and 2026. Environmental service technician or environmental technology, 17% change. And then health sciences, we see some of our largest growth, between 22 and 30% growth within the next 6 to 8 years. So quite significant job growth. And our goal is to make sure, like I said, that when you graduate from these programs, you are right in line for a direct to career, or you can continue your college degree. So key benefits of these programs. As we've kind of mentioned a little bit earlier, students earn between 24 and 63 college credits at no cost to families. All the credits that students would be earning are covered within the grant. It combines the best elements of high school, college, and work-based learning environments. Students will see not only the content or course content that they're being exposed to, but they'll also see how it connects directly to their career field of interest. It is a rigorous program. And as we mentioned, relevant and cost-free education focused on the knowledge and skills students need for careers in the STEM fields. We are really going to work to emphasize project-based learning, and along with our partners and our one of our mentor schools, Tech Valley High School, they have quite the established project-based learning program environment, and we are going to be working with them to help build that type of environment within our program as well. We mentioned work-based learning. Embedded within these programs across all 4 to 6 years are work-based visits, workplace visits, and worksite learning experiences. So internships, mentorships. We really want to make sure that students are seeing how the skills are applied within the career field. With the location on the Hudson Valley Community College campus, we are able to bring in a lot of speakers, and we want to not only from the college, but from our business partners as well. Students will have access to all of the academic, social, planning, and other supports provided to all Hudson Valley Community College students. And we are providing an individualized academic support that is quite unique when it comes to all the advantages of a college environment with the support and assistance of high school faculty. So we really are confident that we can help students achieve at the college level within the high school environment and high school program.
One portion of this program that really helps students to jumpstart their skill set and to make sure that they enter in September feeling ready is the Summer Bridge Institute. These are events and portions of the summer where we will meet either remote or in person on campus and work to get to know each other and to go through a full orientation. The first portion of it, students will get to see the campus. We'll do campus tours. They're going to have a scavenger hunt, and there's a ropes course there. And it's really about like getting familiar with your classmates, because people are coming from 47 different school districts and you don't know anybody yet, and that can be intimidating. So those first couple days are about getting to know each other and getting to know your new teachers and feeling like you have a place on the campus. And then later on in August, we have a portion of the time devoted to industry experience, where we'll go on field trips and actually visit the companies that we're partnered with, and we'll see the work that they do, and you'll get to kind of get a good glimpse into what your internships will be like when you're a little older. And then the last week is really about getting you ready for what college coursework is going to be like, giving you some tools and some skills that will help so that you're successful in these college programs. So the Summer Bridge program is a great way to introduce our students to who they'll be working with, who their classmates will be. They'll get an understanding of campus life and some understanding of what the industry will be like. And then finally, they'll be able to explore some college coursework and gain some skills on how to be successful in that. So this is still very much a work in progress. And after students apply and are accepted in, then we'll be reaching out to go over the full plan of these programs. But a really great way to jumpstart this experience.
So on the slide you have here, we have all the similarities of the two programs, P-TECH and Early College High School. And I'm not going to read them to you, but you can see that there are a lot of similarities between the programs. Dual enrollment being one of them, students taking classes and earning college credits no later than 10th grade, no cost to families, both are located on the Hudson Valley Community College. There are a lot of similarities between the two programs. One of the things I want to just talk a little bit about is some of the differences. So on the slide, you have the P-TECH program at the top, and that is up to a 6-year curriculum. Kim, can you minimize the slide? It's looking a little bit blurry to the participants.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Or not sure why, if it's just the internet connection.
Let me get it then. Reshare view. Okay.
What we'll do in case the slide is not coming through clear, we'll make sure that we share a copy of the presentation on our website as well. Okay, just go back a couple slides. We skipped forward a little bit.
All right. Sorry. Differences. I can keep it at this. Is that a better angle?
I don't know.
Kim, I was going to say, could you reshare it, but make sure you uncheck that option for the video clip? Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. So share option. Unclick. Sorry. Okay.
That's better.
So yeah, that looks okay. I'm sorry.
So maybe go back to the similarity slide because it won't be as blurry now. There we go. So just one other highlight there on the similarity slide that I just wanted to share. The courses are going to be taught by either college faculty, Hudson Valley Community College faculty, or high school teachers with adjunct status. And that's something that we really want to make sure that students have the experience on both sides, that they're able to take classes within the college environment, particularly as they get into some of their later years. But then also they have the classes being taught by their high school faculty that they'll be familiar with from day one. So the differences, I wanted to talk a little bit about the differences between the two programs. The P-TECH program is up to a 6-year curriculum, and it is a completion program. So students would be in the P-TECH program through completion of their associate's degree. And they graduate simultaneously, both with their associate's degree and their high school diploma. Within the P-TECH program, every student is assigned an industry mentor. As I mentioned earlier, both programs are going to focus heavily on those work-based learning experiences and making sure that that they're seeing the relevance between their coursework and how it's going to be applied in industry. The P-TECH program, each cohort is up to 45 students, and the early college high school program is a 4-year curriculum, and students earn at minimum 24 college credits. They can earn an associate's degree, but it's not a requirement of the program. Students can earn anywhere between 24 and 63 credits as they're completing those 4 years. And as we mentioned earlier, the early college high school pathways include both health sciences and computer information systems. The P-TECH pathways are computer information systems, engineering technology, and environmental technology. So those are the different pathways. And then for early college high school, and this is more of an us consideration, is 51% of the students must be from target districts within Rensselaer, Columbia, and Greene counties. So Kim, before you go over successful students, I just wanted to emphasize one more time. So the cohort size, we have 45 students who are going to be in P-TECH and 25 students who are going to be in early college high school, for a total of 70 students each year in each cohort. So that is a nice, it's a smaller cohort, which really affords us the opportunity to provide that individualized experience for our students.
So if you're thinking about, is this the right program for me? Would I be successful in this program? There's some points we want you to take away with. First of all, a successful student is someone who's motivated to try something new here, because it is a non-traditional high school. It is going to be in a smaller setting, and instruction will be handled differently because you have the aspects of the college all around you. So definitely that motivation is key. The idea that you can succeed in a non-traditional classroom, one where students are asked to take risks and where teachers take on some of the newest research and how students learn best and really try to put that out there. A motivated student who's interested in the career field is key, because not only do you start taking those college classes early on, but our own high school teachers embed a lot of the content and the interests of these career fields in their classes as well. So you really have to like this career field to enjoy the program. Highly collaborative. A lot of our projects are going to be that collaborative project-based learning. Our students are working together and they're developing some really interesting technology in these fields, and they're working together and doing it. And like I said before, a desire for a different high school experience. You'll have the classes, you'll have, you'll go through a schedule, there's a school counselor there, there's a cafeteria. To that regard, it feels like a high school, but you're on the college campus and you're getting access to everything that comes with. So it is different, and it is something that's very new. So if those qualities are describing who you are or who your child is, then this might be a great program for you to consider. So as you've heard this information, if you're thinking that this could be something to look into, we would advise that you first just let your counselor know that you went to this and it sounds pretty cool and you're going to apply. Then to apply, we do have an application that's all online. It is on our website, and I'm sure someone from communications is putting it in the chat right now. So when you click on that and you start the application, you enter in your contact information, and that we do ask for a reference from a teacher and from a school counselor. All you have to do on your end is just put the teacher's name and their email address, the counselor's name and the counselor's email address right in the application. On our end, we worry about reaching out to them and giving them a link to provide a reference to you. You don't have to worry about any of that. After you fill out that portion, there is a written section, just some short answer questions asking you what your career interests are, why you're interested in this program. You can review those questions before you even start the application. It's right on our link for the application, so you can kind of practice out your answers. But it's really just a way for you to share with us a little bit about you. You hit submit and we have your application, so we can start reviewing it and working with your school counselor. Mr. Tavy mentioned in the beginning of this session that we want to be able to show you the space because it's beautiful. Hudson Valley Community College has done an amazing job renovating this building for us. So our next session will be, did I put the date on there? Nope. Did I put the date on there? We'll put the date in the chat. I don't know how I missed that, but it's at 6 p.m. And we're going to do a full-on open house. We're going to have cameras in there so you can see what the classrooms look like, and you can see what the computer lab will look like. You can see what the campus is and where the buses will drop you off and where you walk in, so that you really get a sense of what it's going to feel like to be on this campus, so you can make a really good decision for yourself. So please attend that. And just a little bit of information about our timeline. So our application deadline, we've pushed it back a little bit to give families a little more time to gather information and make the right decision for themselves. So our application is due by the end of business day on April 28th. From there, we have to look to see if we need to do a district-wide lottery. If so, that happens pretty quickly. And then we have to get information to the schools on who applied. We then will have an interview. It's more of an opportunity for us to talk one-on-one, with us and with you, so that we again can learn more about you, but also to answer any questions you might have, because this is different and there's a lot that you're going to think about over the coming weeks where you thought, oh, I wish I could just talk to them about that. So this interview gives you an opportunity to get to know us and to ask anything that you can think of. And then we notify districts and by May 1st, and you're good to begin there, and you'll be contacted shortly thereafter with information about the summer bridge program and what you can do over the summer to get ready for this.
Kim, there's just a couple questions that are coming up in the chat and that we've had submitted to us previously. One thing that I just wanted to share is that the program, although it's primarily designed and intended for students who are currently 8th graders who would be rising to 9th grade in the 21-22 school year, we also can look individually at students who are current 9th graders and are going to be going to 10th grade next year. Maybe this was a tough year for a very motivated student, and this school year, with all of its trials and tribulations, just didn't work out the way that that you wanted it to. Please consider this as an option, and we would like to talk to you about whether or not we can meet your specific individualized needs, and if this program would be a good fit for you. And I think what we're seeing is that it can be, and it definitely is not out of the realm of possibility for a current ninth grader to attend this program. The programs are designed to be accelerated so that students can earn their associate's degree, and a minimum of 24 credits within those 4 years. And so if a student is motivated and maybe just didn't have a great first year of high school, this might be an option for you, provided that you want to explore all the different things that Kim mentioned earlier. I want to one of the reasons that we identified the open house, the virtual open house, is we really want to show parents and students the Lang building. As Kim mentioned, Hudson Valley Community College has done a tremendous job in renovating that space. But it's the perfect environment, perfect location on the campus, because it provides us the isolation that we want in the early years as students are starting in ninth grade, but it also gives us the flexibility and the availability of the entire campus, so that as students progress on through their sophomore, junior, senior year and beyond, students would have access to the entire campus. So it gives us that perfect balance of being isolated when we want it to be and open access when we need it to be as students are progressing through their high school years. So I want to invite parents and students to submit questions in the chat. Also, I would ask that you please indicate your home district within the chat. That'll help us as we are reaching out to districts and providing additional materials. So if you could put your home district in the chat, that would be tremendously helpful.
We had a question of someone asking if psychology was part of the medical science class, which I think it is. I mean, it's an elective that you could take with it. But just so that if you're curious about what actual college courses each one of these entails, on our website, when you click on each program, there's links there that take you right to the Hudson Valley degree requirements. So you can see exactly which courses you're going to take for the program and which courses you get to choose to take in these elective fields.
Great. All right, if there are any other questions that are coming in, I'm also going to ask that our future students please turn their videos on so we can see their smiling faces.
I love that. We had a question where someone asked if this is for kids that are in advanced classes. So don't want you to think that the grades are the ultimate decision to who would get accepted. Yes, I mean, you're going to be in college classes and those are rigorous. They could be challenging, but we do have a mentorship program set up with Hudson Valley and with other programs that we're partnering with, so that we have supports built in for you and with you, so that while this might be a challenging work, it's not just you by yourself taking college classes trying to figure it out. You're doing it with the support and love of a high school who's there to support you. Is that a puppy? Yes. Hi.
All right, I see some districts popping up in the chat. That's great. I see East Greenbush. I see Caro Durham. I see Lansingburg, Ravenna.
A question, a person was accepted at Tech Valley High School and wants to know the pros and cons. I mean, we work very closely with Tech Valley. We're partners with them. A lot of the way that we mirror our program is often what they do. Both programs are amazing and great opportunities for students. So it's really just looking at the pathways and making that decision for yourself.
So there's a question in the chat, Kim, about what would the daily schedule look like?
So we're working with Deb Shoemaker in Hudson Valley to solidify the start and end time, but we're looking at our start time to be about 8:15 and our end time to be about 2:15. And in the middle there is the classes, and they'll be about 45 minutes to 55 minutes long, depending on how we work the master schedule. But students do rotate through the classrooms at Lang Building. And then in the later years, when they have their college courses, that's when they will go out and they will go into other buildings for college classes. But the first year, it's primarily right at Lang. We might go out to use their physical education center outside of our building, but really it's moving around our building and using our building as a high school. So you can figure 45 to 55-minute class periods with rotations between, and those be, PE, and there's going to be lab with your science and everything that a standard high school has, just with the college campus around it to start going to as we get older.
Deb, this might be a question for you, and I think you'd probably be the best person to answer it. So the program, wondering if the engineering technology pathway is connected to RPI and has a 2+2 option with RPI.
Sure, Anthony. Typically, that's with our engineering science AS degree. So we'd have to kind of take a look at that, since our pathway that we've chosen for the program is the civil engineering piece. So it's typically a lot more math and science based for the 2+2 that's transferring directly into RPI.
Okay.
One question asked what sports are being offered. So we don't have sports teams. You would do that back at your home district. And depending on transportation, it's our intent to get you back in time. We just have to work on scheduling and transportation to make sure that's possible. So if that answers that. Same thing goes with clubs too. We'll have our own clubs within our high school. We'll have, like a student government. We'll have a club set up with Tech Valley Center of Gravity, other clubs within our high school. However, there's also clubs back at your high school. As long as they meet after school, then there's no reason why you can't be involved in those as well.
There was another question about the program is a full day program. It is not a half day program. So students would be on the Hudson Valley Community College campus in the Lang Building for their entire instructional day.
The question here on transportation, and that's going to be very specific on the districts. We do have some shuttle buses that we work with to get students from Columbia and Greene County. Rensselaer County will likely transport the students directly to our program, and the other counties from Cap Region will be the same. The districts will transport the students.
So there's a couple questions here about the lottery. So the lottery is only for the entering ninth grade cohort. Once you're in, you're in. It's not an annual basis. So if you're identified as a student in that ninth grade for the ninth grade year, there is no lottery for 10th grade or 11th grade or going forward from there. There's a question here about Mahonison School of Technology. We're in the Shelmont School District in Rotterdam. So our program, we're working closely with Capital Region BOCES as well, to be the provider of P-Tech and Early College High School for not only the Questar 3 BOCES component districts, but also all of Capital Region BOCES component districts. So students who are interested in pursuing a P-Tech pathway will participate in this program, which is a partnership between both BOCES. Want to make sure that I've answered the questions that. So will at least one student from each high school be picked? Not necessarily, but we want to make sure that every high school, if they are interested, can be represented. So if a student from one high school doesn't apply, we're not identifying a student from that school. We hope to get student applications from every single component district. and non-component district. I guess just to expand upon that answer, multiple students from one school could be selected. All right, if there are any questions that have been put in the chat that we haven't answered, just please throw them back in the chat so we can see them. But I think we've covered just about everything that's been asked. Oh, another question.
Another question about our current ninth graders eligible for this program, for both programs.
Mm-hmm. So yes, we would work specifically with current ninth graders, because it is going to be a little bit more challenging to make sure that they can meet it is a pretty intense timeline as far as being able to earn all the credits, the college credits, and to be able to fully pursue the pathway. So we want to work with students, particularly those who are currently ninth graders, to make sure that we can do that. We want to make sure that every student who enters this program is set up for success. All right, any other questions?
There's a question about a student who's interested in math and sciences, but also interested in the arts. Are there opportunities for arts or elective courses or clubs?
Right. Well, one thing, there's a couple answers to that question. I'm going to start with one of the things that we really worked very hard to do with the partnership with Hudson Valley is to create alignment across the pathways, particularly in the early years. So students don't have to decide as they're eighth graders what they're going to be doing for the next 6 years of high school. So we wanted to create the ability for students to move between the different pathways if they so saw fit for themselves. So in those first 2 years, along with the forum class, a lot of the coursework is going to be similar, providing students with that exposure across all the pathways. As you get into your 10th grade, and definitely by your 11th grade year, then you're going to really start to specialize in your particular pathway courses. But we really wanted to work to provide that flexibility for students early on so that they could pursue their passion and their interests. And they may be different. So to answer the second part of that question, there is some flexibility in our electives and course offerings that students would be able to pursue some of the different electives that they'd be interested in. So if you have a computer interest, you may have some computer electives that you're interested in, or if you're an art student, you might have some art classes that you're interested in. We want to make sure that that flexibility is afforded. And again, that's one of the advantages of being partnered with Hudson Valley Community College. They have a lot of degree pathways and a lot of program offerings and a lot of electives that students would be able to participate in.
We had a question asking if we could talk a little bit about what project-oriented classes look like. So thinking a little bit about that, when you look at how classes are offered and the types of assessments that are given, we're really working to get away from that traditional test-based assessment concept. Instead, we're looking at how students can demonstrate their skills, their knowledge, and their passion through developing meaningful projects that they play such a key role in actually developing. A lot of student choice is involved, and also a lot of projects are developed across the content. So you might be in your social studies class and you're working on a project that you would also do in your English class. It's that concept of humanities teaching, or bringing in multiple subjects together to produce something that's really meaningful, something that they can showcase, something that they can point to and say, I learned these skills and now I can truly demonstrate it. I didn't just answer some questions on a test. So projects are the key to how we're developing our lessons and how we're developing our assessments, and really looking at ways to build confidence in students as lifelong learners that can showcase the great work that they do.
Yeah. Just to
And
expand upon that, Kim, we really want to try to simulate the career environment that students are going to be entering. You don't have everything that you're going to be doing is going to be project based, project oriented, and it's going to be multidisciplinary. So you're going to have an ELA component, a social studies component, a math and a science component embedded in the projects that you're going to be doing within your career. So we want to try to expose students and make sure that they become familiar with that process as they're entering their high school program and throughout their high school years.
we also are trying to create a community-based school where these projects that are created are shared with our industry partners and in our communities. And that will also mean sharing with the parents and continuing this idea of virtual showcases or hopefully in-person showcases real soon, where everyone's invited in to see the work that the students have accomplished.
All right. Any other questions that are coming through in the chat? Just one other thing to emphasize, and sometimes they're referred to as soft skills, but one of the advantages of project-based learning is the students gain confidence and the ability to speak publicly, to write articulately, and to be able to get their point across. And those are all critical components that students will need as they enter the workforce and into their career.
We had a question. A parent said that their child loves both technology and they're huge into art. Will they be getting a full education or is this part-time? So this is a full day, full high school, all things required for graduation, and also working towards that college degree at the exact same time. So it's very much full-time. And as Mr. Tavy mentioned before, the array of classes that are available to students really stretches to all different areas. So if a student is really into the arts, it would be really cool for them to use technology to develop their art skills and kind of see that relationship develop through these programs.
All right. And one other question coming up.
Is there an academic requirement for acceptance beyond just being motivated? So we will receive your transcripts from the school counselors. That's mostly to see what programming is needed for when you enter this. We have students coming from all different districts, and some students are taking 9th grade algebra right now, and some are taking, I spoke to a student today that's in earth science and he's in 8th grade. So it's really helping us to understand what credits you're coming in with already so that we're prepared to program for you. But motivation is the key. We're going to have students who have always excelled and have always been very diligent in class, but we're also going to have students who maybe haven't reached that spark yet in their high school because middle school wasn't what they thought it was going to be, or the traditional setting that they're coming from isn't working for them. So it's going to be a mix of students that just want something different, and we're working to provide that. And question. He was asked by 2 counselors to start in 9th grade. Will he be admitted automatically admitted? So there's a process where after you apply, we do review your application and what you've written, and we do have that interview to make sure that it's a good fit for both of us so that you feel like this is the right spot for you, and we feel like you're going to be a good fit for us as well, because while you will be with us, you are in a college setting. So we need to make sure that we have students who are mature and ready for that kind of a placement. Not at all too late to sign up. In fact, you're just in time. The application is live. We can put that in the chat again, just to make sure that everybody has that link readily available.
And if there's anything that you haven't asked, or if you have any specific questions that you'd like to speak to either myself or Mrs. Sparkman directly about, please don't hesitate. You can reach out to both of us. Our information, our contact information is right on the website. Shoot us an email and we'll immediately get back to you, and we'll set up an individual session to talk to you about the program and make sure it's everything that you think it should be, and that it's a match for you.
Also keep in mind, April 21st at 6 p.m., we're going to have the open house where you'll be able to see the beautiful building that Hudson Valley has created for us.
Yes. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. Again, please make sure that you go to our website. I was just going to say the recording from this evening's information session will be posted to our website, so that if you have friends or somebody that you know that this might be of interest to them, please encourage them to check it out, and reach out. We're happy to give this presentation individually to individuals that weren't able to make it as well. So there was a question about the open house. We're scheduling an open house for next week that would be virtual. No one would be physically present on the Hudson Valley College campus except for probably Kim and I, and we'll be in the classroom so you guys can see the different spaces. Later on in the summer, and as we get ready for the school year, we will have in-person events at the college, just not yet.
We had a question about auto mechanics as part of the engineering program. I don't believe, and Deb, you probably remember this better than I do, but I don't remember there being a course specific to auto mechanics within that requirement for the degree. This is where an elective could possibly be used. Do you remember? We have the scope and we have the courses all outlined, and it is up on our website, so you can see what the degree requirements are. But in all of these, there are electives that students are allowed to select that connect to their degree, so it might be possible to do it there.
Yeah, I think we'd have to take a look at that again and see. Some of them are very, once you get past some of those gen ed type courses, they are very tied specific to the major, but certainly a possibility.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us this evening. We will stay on if you have any individual questions that you'd want to ask us. And again, please don't hesitate to reach out if you'd like us to connect with you.
Thanks for posting that. The requirements for the engineering is now in the chat. Thank you.
Well, if there's anybody that is still here that has individual questions, please don't hesitate. And we look forward to seeing as many of you as possible on the 21st. All right. All right, I think that's it. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
you.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.